Hey, what's going on, everyone? Original Hypnotoad here, welcoming you to our NBA draft recap. Yes, your Detroit Magnetons have joined another league, the NBA, which is the Newbie Battle Association. It's ran by a lot of my friends from the NDBL and from the PBL, so they let me in. So thanks to those guys for letting me in. We finished the draft last night. So I figured go ahead and do a quick little recap of my team. It's just gonna be a short little video. I'm not gonna go too much into each mod. I don't plan on doing it, but the format is same as GBA. All the different tiers. You can franchise them on. You have 400 points for your last 4 mons. You can get points by drafting a lower tier mega, or you can use points by franchising. Not a lot of rules, but just a few rules in there that kind of make things work out as they do. But starting off, we actually franchised Cresselia. Main reason why I wanted to franchise Cresselia is because I just don't want to face it. Yeah, that's the simple fact. It's bulky, it can sub combines. It can just be a pain. It can toxic things. It can thunder wave things. I know that taunt does stop it, but even if you taunt Cresselia, you still have to take it down. Yeah, you can taunt it, but then you still have to take it down. So I feel like Cresselia is just a good, very good wall. Not too many weaknesses. Yeah, it has a weakness to, knockoff, but Colbert Berry is a thing, so that's really nice. But yeah, it was Cresselia just, not wanting to face this much of a wall. So moving on. My recap's not gonna actually in the order of where I picked them, it's not in the order of which mon I picked first. It's just in the order of my franchise mon, which was Cresselia. I'm gonna go to my mega, my tier 1s, my tier 2s, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, just like that, just to keep it simple, and just because obviously the higher tiers are gonna be a little bit more viable. But anyways, moving on into our mega, we got Natsu, the Mega Charizard X. All you need to know about this thing is bring a physical wall. Yeah, that's all I really need to know about this. And one thing I just want to point out about Megazard X is while Tough Claw is a very good ability for a physical attacker, it does have 130 base special attack, so nothing is stopping me from running a especially offensive Megazard X. So if my opponent happens to have Ferrothorn, which I think was drafted, I'm not quite sure, I could always bring a Flamethrower or something like that to catch it off guard and not take any extra damage from just going for a Flare Blitz. So yeah, that's Natsu. Moving on, we have Journey, the Jirachi. This is actually my first round pick. Kind of going with Cresselia. It's just a mon I didn't want to worry about facing because base 100 stats all across the board means it can be any kind of set. Its move pool is really diverse. Obviously, the Choice Scarf Iron Head is a really common set in tiering wise, but I don't know how often I'll run that. I don't really want to be that guy that runs Choice Scarf Iron Head every week, but obviously, if I feel like that's the best option for winning, I might have to do that, but we'll kind of have to play around that. But Jirachi has just a lot of good movesets. It can be Calm Mind, it can be it can U-turn, it can set rocks, it can throw some statuses on some mons, and Steel type is also really good. Steel Psychic's a pretty decent typing. I know that gives me 2 weaknesses to Dark types and Ghost types with Cresselia and Jirachi, but our next pick is going to kind of patch up that Dark type weakness because we picked up with our one of our free picks was Terrakion, Tucson the Terrakion. Obviously, this is probably one of the best Dark type checks in my opinion in the game because it's a fighting type, so it's going to resist a Dark type. It also has the ability Justified, so that means if it's hit by a Dark type attack, it's going to get a +1 in attack, which coming off of a base 129 attack stat, it's basically a Mega Charizard X, almost I think it's just 1 point under a Mega Charizard X. 108 base speed's really, really nice. And it also can be decently bulky with 91 HP and 90 in both defense and special defense. And also, I like the combination of rock and fighting stab coverage. Uh, it's a lot of things. There's not really too many things that resist both fighting and rock. It's also been potential in our Stealth Rock setter, but I probably will never run that. But anyway, moving on, we move into our tier 3 picks because Cresselia was my tier 2 pick. I don't know why Cresselia was tier 2 in this league. Every league I've seen, well, I mean, not every league, but a lot of leagues I'm in, I've seen Cresselia, if it's in the league, be at tier 1 just because, it's just such a wall. But, yeah, so that was my tier. Cresselia was my tier 2, so now we're moving on to our tier 3 picks. And looking at my team, one thing that's really, really obvious is I have Megazard X. I need Hazard Control. I have Hazard set up with both Jirachi and Terrakion. I need the control now, so that's why we picked up Squishy, the Tentacruel. Shout out to J Blitz for the nickname because he had Squishy in the DBL last season, and that's what he named his Tentacruel, was Squishy. So, like I said, I just really needed something that could use Rapid Spin, obviously. Base 100 speed. I love fast Rapid Spinners. It's probably one of the most important things that I feel like in League format. You need something fast that can get rid of hazards, because if you have like a bulky mon, who gets rid of hazards, like say like a Don Fan, which I have in the DBL this season. Yes, it's a really reliable Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, user. But it's really slow, so if you take some chip damage and your opponent has something that can hit him for super effective and take him out, then you're not going to get rocks off. But with Tentacruel, base 100 speed means I'm going to outspeed a lot of things. Not everything, obviously, but a lot of things I'll be able to outspeed. Can also set up Toxic Spikes itself. Gets knockoff, which is awesome. Scald is always nice. Being able to throw out Scalds against anything besides Water Absorb Mons is really, really nice. So that's why we picked up Squishy, the Tentacruel. Moving on, we picked up Afro, the Whimsicott. Now, Whimsicott is an interesting pick from my perspective, just because I've never really used Whimsicott before. Obviously, I like the idea of having a Prankster Mon because, I can throw off a status, I can throw off a Tailwind, I can throw off a Taunt, and have priority on all those moves. So that makes it really, really viable. It also helps finish up both my Dragon Steel Fairy and Water Fire Grass Core. Granted, Whimsicott is not bulky at all with 60 HP and 85 defense and 75 special defense, so it's not going to be really taking hits. But I still wanted to finish both cores, and I saw that Prankster was, a pretty decent, ability to pick up while also finishing off those 2 cores. So yeah, that's our first 6 mons. So just give me a second while I hop here into our last 6. You're getting to see them now, but you saw some of them. I don't think you got to see all of them. But our next pick was Stream, the Flygon. One thing you'll notice about my team before this point was I had a lot of mons weak to weak to ground, but not a lot of, I have a mon that resists it in Cresselia because of Levitate. I also have Whimsicott, who's grass type, but like I just said about Whimsicott's not really bulky, so sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Whimsicott's not really that bulky, so Whimsicott really can't take, even a resisted hit. It's going to hit it hard. So I need something that was immune to another ground immunity, and I also wanted something that could help take the pressure off of being a hazard control mon from Tentacruel. So that's why Flygon really just fit all my check marks there. Obviously it gets Defog, it gets its own Stealth Rocks, U-turns, nice. Ground Dragon is a really, really good offensive typing because being able to throw off Stab, Earthquakes, and Stab like Outrages or Stab, Dragon Claws or whatever, that's really hard to have a mon that resists both of them. if there is any. I don't even know. I guess Whimsicott is actually probably the only mon because Steel or not Steel Fairy is immune to the dragon, and then Grass is immune to the ground. So Whimsicott is the only one that comes to mind right away. I'm sure there's others, but not too many. Also, like the decent coverage it gets. It can be a special attacker. It's got decent special attack stat. Let me see what it actually has real fast. It has 80 special attack, so that's usable. I mean, obviously 100's better, but 80 is nothing to laugh at. But yeah, it's Stream the Flygon. All right, moving into our next pick, we got. I'm gonna mispronounce this. Magatama, the Spiritomb. I was trying to think of. I don't know if this is the name of. I don't know if any of you guys have played Phoenix Wright before, but one of the characters in the game has this little bead kind of thing. It looks kind of like what's around the Spiritomb's face there, and so I figured hey, I like Phoenix Wright video games, so I'd kind of just use that the name of whatever it is. But Spiritomb, I feel like fits a lot of roles on my team that are kind of not present. It's a pretty bulky mon. I mean, base 50 HP isn't the greatest, but base 108 in both defenses makes it, I can make it physically or especially bulky. It gets access to Will-O-Wisp and Calm Mind, so I can even boost those Thurber to make it like a decent mixed wall even. And base 92 attack and special attack is nothing to laugh at, especially when you can get Nasty Plot to boost the special attack. But dual stab priorities and Sucker Punch and Shadow Sneak, that's always nice. The base 35 speed is very, very slow, obviously, but Spiritomb's not really meant to be a fast mon. So that is, I forgot how to pronounce it, but Magatama, the Spiritomb. Moving into our next pick, one thing I was really lacking on the team, from my perspective, was a really, really fast mon. I mean, yeah, I had a few base 100s in Flygon, Megazord X, and Jirachi. I have a base 108 and I guess Tentacle's also base 100. Terracion's base 108, and I guess also Whimsicott's base 116. So I guess speed wasn't really too much of an issue I had. But one thing that was fast and that could hit from the special side, and that's why we picked up Starfruit, the Excelgor, coming over from the DBL team. We got Excelgor again. Looking at his stats right away, you can see the one thing that pops out is that insane base 145 speed. Not much of the. I think Ninjask is literally the only thing that outspeeds it, barring any Mega Evolutions and barring any setup mons like Dragon Dance or Agility or anything like that. And one of my favorite things about Starfruit Excelgor is the move Final Gambit. I like Final Gambit for two different reasons. One, I like it with the combination of spikes because you could lead spikes, set up spikes, and then click Final Gambit, and your opponent can't get rid of spikes on that ensuing turn. So that means you're going to have hazards up for at least one turn. And I also like it because you can really catch something off guard with a Final Gambit just right out the get-go. Base 8 HP means that it's going to be a pretty strong hitting Final Gambit, and especially hitting us like a wall. I'm trying to think of what wall could potentially. I don't know, any base 80 HP or lower walls who aren't holding a focus sash or aren't sturdy. I can just click Final Gambit and then just take out that wall right away and not have to worry about it ever again for that match. So obviously Excelgor also has some other utility uses, and also base 100 special attack is nothing to laugh at. You can throw a Life Orb or Choice Specs on there and run Bug Buzz, Focus Blast, Hidden Power, or Giga Drain or Energy Ball, something like that. So that is Starfruit. Moving on, another thing I wanted was I really wanted to have a more offensive grass type, and I also wanted something that could help a little bit more with my ground type weakness. So we picked up uh, Fresh Cut, the Rotom. Obviously Levitate. That's another immunity to ground type to kind of help patch up my ground weakness, which will make more sense with my last pick. And obviously Rotoms. All the Rotom I feel like have some viability in league format. Grass Electric is a pretty good offensive and also a pretty decent defensive typing. And obviously hitting Leaf Storm with a base 130 or base power of 130 Leaf Storm coming off of a base 105 special attack, it's going to hit pretty hard. It might not, kill a lot of things, but it can definitely chip down things. It also gets access to, I believe, Will-O-Wisp. Right? You get access to Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, Will-O-Wisp, Trick, Toxic, Thunder Wave. Just a lot of good moves. So I feel like Rotoms are definitely one of those mons that if you can, you should try grabbing at least one of them. Obviously, there are some that are more viable, like Rotom Heat and Rotom Wash. But Rotom Cut isn't too far behind in my opinion, so that's why we picked up Fresh Cut. And moving on into our last pick, our Tier 5 pick, we picked up Turbo, the Magmortar. Really the only thing I have to say about Magmortar is it's a wall breaker. Let me look at its stats real fast. Base 95 attack and that base 125 special attack. And the coverage is just insane. It gets Earthquake, it gets Fighting, both physically and specially. It gets Fire, obviously. It gets, what else do you get? It gets Rocks, it gets Psychic coverage, it gets Thunder coverage, Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt on a Fire type is a really, really, really crazy thing to me because, if my opponent is sending in a Water type, if I know they're sending in a Water type, I can click T-Bolt, or I can click Thunder Punch if I'm running a physically offensive one. I can run a Belly Drum physically offensive set. I might actually have to try that out. That'd be interesting. Wait, do you also get... Did I just see Belch? Oh, damn it. That'd be especially... I was going to say, I could run a Belly Drum, Citrus Berry, Belch set. That'd be really, really crazy. But, yeah, anyways, that's the team. So let me know what you guys think about that down below. I will be uploading these matches. I think the league starts in a week, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed and you want to show your support for your Detroit Magnetons, go ahead and hit the like button. But I'll see you all. Oh, I just hit my mic. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.